This avenue is shooting. It's not good. It's a little baby. It's sad.
Horrible. Absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible.
On November 19th, a heartbreaking tragedy shook the Hartford, Connecticut community. A young mother, 20-year-old Jessiah Mercado, and her innocent 4-month-old baby, Messiah Diaz, lost their lives in a devastating act of violence. What should have been just another day turned into a nightmare, leaving family, friends, and neighbors in shock and grief. Jessiah was a loving mother, described by those who knew her as kind, caring, and deeply devoted to her baby boy. Her son, Messiah, was just beginning his journey in life, a child full of warmth and innocence. The events that led to their deaths stemmed from a dispute over a car, a conflict that escalated in the worst possible way. Before we begin this video, we would like to express our deepest sympathies to the family and friends who were severely affected by this horrible crime. We would also like to send condolences to the victim's family and friends. Today's case takes us to Hartford. Hartford is the capital city of the U.S. state of Connecticut. The city, located in Hartford County. The city has a population of around 120,000 residents. Hartford is the most populous city in the Capital Planning Region and the core city of the greater Hartford metropolitan area. Hartford, renowned as the home of the Mark Twain House and Museum, stands as a significant site where the famous American author penned his most iconic works, including The Adventures of Tom Sawyer and The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. Jessiah Marie Syncere Mercado, daughter of Jose Gonzalez and the late Angela Mercado, was born on November 2, 2004, in New London, Connecticut. Jessiah attended public schools in Hartford, Windsor, and East Hartford before moving on to work as a personal care assistant, PCA, in a Hartford nursing facility. In her spare time, she enjoyed shopping, eating her favorite cuisines, particularly seafood, and spending time with her siblings. Jessiah was a cheerleader when she was younger, and she loved swimming and watching football games with her friends and brothers. She was a talented girl who excelled academically in many areas. In the weeks leading up to November 19, 2024, tensions had been growing between 20-year-old Jessiah Mercado and 23-year-old Lance Macho Morales. The two were involved in a financial dispute over a rented Mazda SUV, an arrangement in which Jessiah was expected to pay Morales $100 per day for use of the vehicle. As time went on, she fell behind on payments, accumulating a debt of $400. What may have seemed like a minor dispute escalated into something much more serious. On November 19th, Jessiah was traveling in the rented SUV along New Britain Avenue in Hartford, Connecticut. She was not alone. Her 4-month-old son, Messiah Diaz, was in the car with her, along with 2 other passengers. It was in this moment that the dispute over money took a violent turn. Reports indicate that Morales approached the vehicle and, after a brief exchange, opened fire. In an instant, the young mother and her baby were caught in the crossfire. The vehicle, now riddled with bullets, sped away from the scene, rushing to the hospital in a desperate attempt to save the victims. However, by the time they arrived, it was too late. Jessiah and baby Messiah had not survived. One of the other passengers sustained injuries, but survived the attack. The driver of the car, though physically unharmed, would later provide crucial details to law enforcement about what had taken place. As news of the double homicide spread, authorities launched an immediate investigation into the incident. Morales, who had a history of criminal activity and previous convictions, quickly became the prime suspect. However, he had fled the scene and was nowhere to be found. The search for Morales intensified, and just 4 days after the shooting, U.S. Marshals tracked him down in Puerto Rico, where he had been hiding. He was arrested on November 23 and extradited back to Connecticut to face charges, including murder and assault.
A 4-month-old baby and his mother in Hartford before running off to Puerto Rico faced a Connecticut judge today.
Lance Morales is charged with the most serious crime under Connecticut law. Your chief investigative reporter Sam Smink was inside the courtroom as things got very heated. She joins us live now with more on this story. Sam.
The family of the victims was inside the courtroom as well. As Morales was being led out of the courtroom, they began yelling at him. As Lance Morales was led out of the courtroom, the family of 20-year-old Jessiah Mercado and her 4-month-old son, Messiah Diaz, had some words for him, told to quiet down by the judge. The 23-year-old is accused of killing the two in November, following a dispute over a car. Police say after committing the crime, Morales fled to Puerto Rico. U.S. Marshals captured him days later, bringing him back to Connecticut last week.
This defendant has proven that he is not able to be assured of presence in the court.
This is not Morales' first time in a courtroom. He currently has 5 other cases pending in Waterbury.
One is a violation of probation stemming from an assault 1 conviction where he owes 7 years. Other cases are reckless driving, sale, criminal mischief, tampering with evidence, interfering.
As well as 2 convictions where he served around 3 years in prison.
Other convictions for escape in the first degree and violation of protective order.
The state asked the judge to take all of the above in account when setting bond. But first they asked the judge not to even consider an amount, saying Morales did not have the right to bond because he is charged with the most serious offense under Connecticut law, murder with special circumstances. The charge carries a mandatory life prison sentence without the possibility of release. The judge ultimately set a bond.
I am setting the bond of $5 million cash or surety.
As Morales watched on, biting his lip. The victim's family said they did not want to speak to cameras today because they are not yet ready. Now, as for Morales, he will be back in court on January 8th to face these charges. On the other pending cases, he will be in Waterbury Court around February 26th. Reporting in Hartford, your chief investigative reporter Sam Smink, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, Sam.
The tragic deaths of Jessiah and her son sent shockwaves through the Hartford community. Friends and family described her as a loving mother who always put her child first. Neighbors, still in disbelief, recalled seeing her with baby Messiah, never imagining that their lives would be taken so suddenly. Vigils were held in their honor, with loved ones lighting candles and sharing memories of the young mother and her son. Their loss was not only a reminder of how quickly disputes can turn deadly, but also of the lasting impact of weapon violence on families and communities. As Morales awaits his trial, Jessiah's family continues to seek justice. While no outcome can ever bring back the lives that were lost, they hope that the legal system will ensure accountability for the crime that took place that day. Their story, like so many others, serves as a sobering reminder of the fragility of life and the devastating consequences of violence. As we remember their lives, we also reflect on the importance of compassion and understanding within our communities. Our thoughts are with their family and friends during this difficult time. If you would like to stay updated with this type of content, please don't forget to like and subscribe. See you on the following video.